Hi, beautiful people. How are you all doing today? My name is Kevin Reyes. I'm a sugar flower specialist and cake design innovator and instructor based here in Manila, Philippines. And I'm very, very excited and thrilled to share with you this Christmas season. By the way, happy holidays to all. This very, very easy flower that is very popular this season, which is the Poinsettia flower. And this is what it looks like. I'll be sharing with you all my tips and tricks and all the techniques you need to know without using dusting. I have an alternative, which is dry brush technique. So without further ado, let's start. Okay, so before we start with the creation of the poinsettia flower, we have to prepare this. So this is what we'll be using for our coloring later on. So as I've mentioned, we won't be using any dust for adding details to the flower. So this is the alternative technique that I'll be teaching and sharing with you guys. So I call this the dry brush technique. So we have to do this first so that to give time for the gel colors to dry out. So the gel color that I'm using is Piotraco because I really love this brand because the color pops really well and it's really easy to use, but you can use any other brands. Okay, so basically I have here color red, which I did earlier. So that's the same thing that we will do with the other colors. So I have here red, I have green, and I have yellow. That's basically the colors that you only need for this flower. Okay, so what you need to do, first I placed a very small amount of gel color there. I highly recommend that you use a flat brush because it's easier. What you need to do is get a little bit of that, create lines, okay? Very thin lines, as if you're just making or playing with paint colors. So what we're doing here is we're actually exposing the gel so it will oxidize later on, and what will be left is a little bit of gel and a lot of pigments, okay? So I'll show you later how you can use this one as an alternative for dusting. And normally when I have very big projects, this is what I use because we all know that petal dust are a little bit expensive. So this is a great alternative, okay? So that's how you do it. So you need to let this dry for about 3 to 5 minutes depending on the humidity at your area. If it's very humid, you can put a fan in front of this one so that it oxidizes faster, and what's left is just the pigments and a little bit of gel, okay? Okay, so we will start with the creation of the flower itself. So just a little bit of a trivia. For poinsettia flower, the big petals that you see, it's actually not really petals. Those are actually called modified leaves or modified bracts. It's the same thing with bougainvillea flowers. So those are actually leaves. So the flowers are actually the very little parts at the center. And also another trivia, poinsettia is actually a member of the euphorbia family. So it means it's a semi-succulent plant. So it's actually a Euphorbia pulchinera. Okay, so now we have to start. So I'll be only using 3 cutters. Okay, so this one is, the size is 4 centimeter by 5 centimeter. So you need to create 11 pieces of this one. Okay, 11 pieces of this one. And then the next cutter, it's 3 centimeter by 4 centimeter. You need to create 7 pieces of this one. And then for the next cutter, it's 2.5 centimeter by 3.5 centimeter. You need to create 7 pieces of this one also. And then later on, we'll be doing a free-form petal, which is very small. We need to create for about 5 pieces of that one. Okay, so again, 11, 7, 7, and then 5 of the very small free-form petals. Okay, so to start with, by the way, for all of my flowers, mostly I only use the rose petal cutter. So I'll show you how I modify it. Okay, I'll just get my rolling pin. So what I'm using is Mako paste. You can also use any other kinds of paste for this one. This is what I prefer because it's very humid and rainy on my area. So you have to roll it out, not so thin. You see that it's very thick. So we'll start off with the big one. Actually, the technique, it's actually just all the same. It's all different on the sizes. And then I'm using a Tupperware with the lid, so this helps my paste not to dry out. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is roll out. Okay, and then I roll back. See that? And then just roll on the side. So don't worry if it's gonna be uneven. You really want it to be uneven. Okay, and then after that, you'll see that it increased its size. Okay, So what you need to do now, gently pull the sides a little bit. See that? I'm just creating little pulls. Okay, so that it's gonna be more uneven. And then I'm using a makeup brush with cornstarch just to avoid it from sticking to my veiner later on. Okay, so what I'm using is a leaf veiner, an ordinary leaf veiner. So you have to place it there. Okay, and then you press to get all the beautiful veinings in life. Okay, so what you'll have is something like this. What you need to do now is squeeze and squeeze your veiner so that you can easily pop it out, okay? And then you need to get your wire. So for this one, I'm using color green. This is wire number 22. You can also use number 24. You need to dip the end in edible glue. So for the edible glue, that's 2 tablespoons of warm water plus 1/4 teaspoon of Tylose powder. You have to mix it well until it becomes a little bit gooey and slimy, okay? So it has edible glue at the end, okay? So just create a line at the center, okay? And then after that, just place it on this position. Normally, I leave a little space for about 1 inch or 1/2 inch. And then after that, press, 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 and press, okay? So what you'll have is something like so, and then you need to press this part. Okay? You need to press this part. So basically what we did, we just hid the stem, okay? Then after that, you create more details by pinching the petals. And then the end part, pinch it so that it's actually pointy, okay? So there you have it. So this is one modified bract or leaves of the poinsettia flower. So you have to do this on all the petal sizes, okay? So when you flat it, actually the size changes. It becomes bigger, it becomes a little wide. That's okay. It has to be all different because if you look at the real poinsettia flower, it's not really all the same. All the petals are actually different from one another. Okay, so you see that. And this one, you can actually let it dry on a petal former, or what I love to do is just push it through your what do you call this, your styrofoam, and then it won't flap. It will stay standing just like this, okay? And we need to let this dry for about 3 to 5 minutes, and then we will apply the colors and details. Okay, so while our modified leaves are actually drying, we'll start making the real flowers of the poinsettia flower. Okay, so first, I have here wire number 26, but you can also use number 28 or 30. That's better because it's smaller and thinner. So you need to have around 1/2 centimeter ball, okay? And then you insert this ball on your wire. No need to loop, okay? And then twist at the bottom, just like that, like a teardrop. And then after that, using your knife tool or your ordinary knife, just be careful if you're using a real knife, just need to create a line for the detail, okay, just like so. And then you need to create another line, so it has to be 2 lines, okay, just like that, okay. And then after that, using your same wire, okay, you just insert it, you just poke it in, and then you cut, okay, and then you poke it again, okay, just like that. Okay, it's not focusing. Hello, hello. Anyways, it looks like that, okay. And then you just have to cut it. Not sure why it's not focusing as of the moment. Okay, so we need to cut this out, okay, and then just insert again, okay. Insert. Hello, focus. Hello. Okay, better. And then we cut. Okay, so this is what you'll have. So you need to create 5 to 6 pieces of this one. Okay, and then after that, using your Tylo glue or edible glue, just dip in the edges of that wire and also some parts of this. And then what I have here, this is my gelatin mix with petal dust. So you just dip it there and you'll have something like so. Okay, and then these small ones that you see, you need to create at least 3 divisions with 5 pieces each. So you need to create smaller than this size. Okay, so just insert it on the wire. It has to be different sizes and it will be like so. Okay, different sizes. And then after that, some of these, not all, you need to add yellow details. Okay, just like the real flower. So you need to get very little amount. Okay, just like that, small, very tiny. Okay, and then just elongate it on your fingers. Okay, and then after that, get your edible glue again. So I'll just be adding it on one part, let's see here. Okay, and then you put that there, attach. Can you see that? Has to be like that. I wonder why it's not focusing. Hello. Anyway, it's like that. Okay, and then I'll try to remove everything so that it's going to focus only on this one. Okay, just like that. Okay, and then you just need to create a line. Just like that. Okay, it's like a small lip. Okay, so just do it on some of the small flowers, not all. Okay, again, that's how it looks like. You see that? We will put it on focus. Okay, there you go. So that's how it looks like. Okay, so right now we'll assemble the center so that we have something like this. So as you see, we have 3 divisions a while back. Okay, so this is the 5 pieces each, and then this is our cute little fully bloomed flowers. Okay, so I have here wire number 22. You can also use number 26 or 24. So basically what you need to do is first get one of the fully bloomed and then get another one. Okay, and then wrap it with floral tape. So when you're using floral tape, don't forget to expand to activate the stickiness. Okay, as you see, it's different elevation. And then you add your smaller pieces gently on place. Okay, again at different elevation as you go around. Okay, and then just wrap it with floral tape. And then what you'll have is something like so. And then using your long nose, gently move it outer. Okay, but not too much outer. Okay, just a little bit far from each other, but not too far. Okay, because you need to maintain that closeness this Christmas. Okay, so once you have 3 sets of these, we'll combine them together and then we will assemble and attach the petals or the modified leaves. Okay. Okay, so right now, this is actually one of the fun parts of this. Every time I'm making flowers, I always get excited when I dust my flowers, okay? But for this time, I'm going to show you one of my techniques, which is different from dusting, but actually it's a little bit similar, but not exactly the same. This is my dry brush technique. So this is the gel paste that we actually dried earlier. Okay, so what you need to do, this is a flat brush. So I have here 3 pieces of flat brush because you don't want to mix the colors, okay? So let's start with the bigger one so that you'll see how it works. Okay, so first, you need to make it a little bit bristly, okay? Just like that. And then just dip it on the red pigments because it's already dry. Okay, so just getting red pigments. Start off with one part. Not sure if you can see, but there is actually coloration going on. Okay. So you have to be very slow. And what do you call this? Your hands should be very soft, okay, when applying this. And also make sure that the petals are actually fully dry before you apply this technique. See that? Okay. So the veinings are actually coming out more. Okay, so we did it on one side already. So do it on the other side. Okay. So the good thing about this is it's actually a great alternative, especially if you ran out of dust. Okay. So you see that. So there we have our details already. So if you want to actually make a gradation, just continue on just shaking it back and forth with the smaller or with the dry brush, okay? And then you will be spreading the colors of the dry pigments. You see that? It's very pretty. And then actually what I love to do with this one, I go with the color greens, okay? But not all, okay? Just on some parts of the petal, not all. Okay, this is wet. Sorry about that. This brush is wet, so we replace it with our dry brush. This is dry. So I just add very little touches of green at the edges, not all, okay? You see that? Okay, just very little touches of green. Because the bigger petals, the bigger modified leaves rather, it's actually the one that is closer to the green leaves. Okay, just like that. You see the gradation, it's very pretty. Okay, so this is how it should look like. And then later on, of course, if you want to add in more details, what I love to do, I add some holes. Okay, so using your barbecue stick or bamboo skewers, add some holes, just poke through, just like that. And then you just destroy some parts, okay, so that we can add a more realistic detail on this part. Okay, so just make that hole darker. See that? Okay, so there you have it. So you need to apply this on all petals. So only the bigger ones will have tinges and touches of greens, while all the others will have all the red ones, okay? And the very small ones will have littles of yellow, okay? And then later I'll show you how to assemble this gorgeous Christmas flower. Okay, so right now we're done with applying all the colors. As you see, what we use here is a dry brush technique, and I'm very sorry because the background is a little bit noisy because there's construction going on, so please bear with me. But now we'll be arranging this very pretty poinsettia flower. So first you need to get your centers, so it's divided into 3, right? Okay, so just put them close together to each other at the same level. Okay, and then you need to get your floral tape. Okay, and expand to activate the stickiness. So you put tape a little lower on this part, okay? Just twist it and then gently move it on a little bit outer scape, just like that, okay? So that there are some spaces in between which you can actually see through like the real poinsettia flower. So let's start off with our smallest petal, okay? So as you see, since we extended the paste here, so that's the point wherein you have to bend it. If you find it hard to bend, you can actually use a long nose to bend it for you. Just like that, and put it. So the first ones, the smaller ones, the placement is actually very random, okay? Because these are actually petals that are still forming. I mean, it's like they are babies, you know, they are still forming. So you use pliers to actually, or long nose to bend it. See that? Okay, and then I'll add another one. Sometimes what I love to do, I bend it on a different direction. So I can insert it on one part. Just like that, you see that? This one. It's a little bit out of place, but it's very pretty. That's how we want it. Okay, again, bend and insert. Okay, So far, this is the center of our poinsettia. You can move it around depending on how you like it to be. Okay, and then we proceed with our second set of petals, which is actually the semi-smaller one. So this one, just bend. Okay, and then insert. Just like that. Okay. So when you're twisting, as you see, the stem is actually becoming a little bit thick. So this is when you actually trim the wires. Okay, so using your wire cutter, just trim them off so that it's not gonna be so bulky, because you don't want it very, very fat. Okay, you want it thin and just right. Okay, let's continue twisting. Okay, and then now just continue adding and adding petals. Okay, I see that at this level it's very pretty here. So we do another round. Okay, and then if your tape is short, just continue rounding it up. And then you get another set of long floral tape. Okay, always stretch to activate the stickiness. Okay, so sometimes it helps if you bend a lot of your petals already or your modified leaves. Okay, so here as you see, I'm bending all of them so that I just insert, and then tape. Okay, just bend it all just like that. Okay, and then get your bended flower modified leaves. Okay, see that? So here's one, and then I put another one here on the other side, and then get your tape. Okay, and wind it up just like a thread. Okay, see that? So it's already starting to form, and it's getting a little bit like Christmas. Okay, so here I'm just placing them. Wind it up. Okay, and then I'm going to add here. So there's no specific pattern. Okay, so you have to look at your flower from above, and then as you see, I'm getting lower and lower and lower. All the petals are not fully close to each other. It's actually like a series of those modified bracts getting lower and lower, because if you observe the real flower, that's how it looks like. Okay, you see that there's spaces and it goes low. Again, if you don't want it this thick, you can actually trim the wires just like how we did earlier. Okay, one moment. So I'll just put it here and I'll start bending all this other. This is the next set of the modified leaves. Okay, so we're just bending them so it's easier to attach. Okay, again, get another round of floral tape, expand to activate the stickiness. Okay, just like that, and then just attach it here. See that? Okay, and then get your floral tape and wind it up like a thread. So as you see, there's no specific place where I add. I just add on where I see it fits. Okay, so how would you know that? So you see on this part, it's already full. So I need to add more on the other side. Okay, just like that. And then I'll add some more. Okay, and then just another one right here. Okay, so I ran out of tape. That's normal. So we get another one. Get another round of our floral tape. Okay, so I'll be adding it just right here. And then always remember to cover it with floral tape. Okay, see that? It's actually looking a little bit prettier, but we still have a lot of petals to go. See that? So nice. So we continue adding more, but before that, again, we bend our, this is the last set of our modified leaves or bracts. Okay, because in botanical terms, they call it bracts, but you can actually call them leaves. Okay, so just fold them, fold, and then this is the last one. Okay, so I just added more greens so that it's more realistic. Again, just bend them. Okay, and we are done with bending all of them. So now we insert again our petals. So have to look at it from above. So you see there's a space here. So I add one of my bigger petals here. Okay, see that? That's pretty. That's looking pretty nice. And then add another one. Okay, and then you go with another round of your floral tape. Okay. See that? Okay, so we add some more. Just continue adding and adding petals. Okay, so when it gets lower, sometimes it's harder to add floral tape. So I suggest that you get another one which is longer. Okay, and expand to activate the stickiness. You see that? So add some more. Again, this is not the usual way of how you do poinsettia. Okay, this is my own technique, which I based from observing the real poinsettias here on my garden. So this is not also the botanically correct technique, but this is my technique, okay? On how I do poinsettias for Christmas. You can also do this in clay. You can also do this in cold porcelain. It's really up to you. Okay, so we're done with all the bigger petals. So we will move on with the ones that has color greens. Okay, you see that? You see that effect? It's really pretty. Okay, let's do another round. Okay, so I'll just twist this. Okay, and then get another one. Until we are done with, you see that? You see all the layers? That's how the real flower looks like. Okay? So add some more. Again, lower. So it gets lower and lower and lower. So the green parts should actually be seen. See that? Okay, so this will add more details to our finished flower. Some more here and some more here. Okay, and then just finish it up by wrapping it with a lot of floral tape. Okay, so there we have it. This is our beautiful poinsettia flower. You see that? So, yep. You can actually move this a little bit so that you can see more of the greens. And then you see our center is very pretty. And then there's a lot of layers going on. Okay, so there you have it. I hope you learned a lot. And for those of you who are wondering, I'll be uploading this on my YouTube channel so you can watch it again and again even after this demo. Thank you. Bye.